from Famine Studios. How are we today? We are going to be doing some, essentially, we're going to be giving some line work and detail to the ground, mostly. We want to make sure that this looks like, say, a place where a starship can park, drop off cargo, you know, sci fi shit. All right, there we go. So we'll let our friends filter in into the room. How's everybody doing tonight? Let's get this out of the way. Do-do-do-do. No, no. There we go. There we go. Bjorn says howdy. Some channel says microwave. What was the thing I just took away? This, the tower? Like this one here? Okay. That is it's like a water tower kit bashed with a gum container and some foam strips, a tape wheel, like a roll of tape, a drink container, and then an HO scale stone kit that they put over train cars. And they open up the valve and it dumps a load of stone inside, and then they close it, and then the train car goes. I just turned it into like a sci-fi, kind of Western, kind of science fiction thing. So that's what that is. But as you can see, I've done a little bit of work there. That actually is at an angle incorrectly by mistake, but the glue kind of set up properly, which was nice, that shelf, so I'm not too mad at it. I added a ladder there. I might go back in and add some stairs instead, but I do like that ladder. I think Snowflake is knocking at my door, so let me let her in right this second. Is that you, Snowflake? Yes, it is. Come on, Mama. Go ahead. What's your tail? Go on. Good girl. Yeah, Snowflake was like, I want to come party. Go ahead. Go ahead. Here. There you go. Oh, there you are. Snowflake wanted to be a part of the festivities, so she's going over to her perch. But yeah, like I said, I want to put some markings and stuff down here. Get this layout looking more like a place that vehicles travel through, footpaths travel through, like a landing pad for a spaceship. So, say somebody comes to, they're here to drop off a droid, right? They could just fly in and park cattywampus, but let's mark a footpath so that they let's make a footpath so they know to stay, keep their aircraft away from the door. Cool for photos, but you know me, I kind of like my utilitarian look, so what's up, Sightsee? But let's, make an area that's outlined. Let's make a spot where ships can land. We'll do some dirtying. We'll use some chalk pastels. We'll make this look more realistic. Yeah, so let's do that. And this door is a Rad Toys Galaxy print. He printed it. I gave it quite a few coatings of glues and Mod Podge, and then painted it and weathered it with pigment powders made from pastels. And yeah, that's where we're at. So today we're going to be using just regular paint. You guys know me. Regular acrylics so that we can. Some frog tape. And we'll get started from there. So I don't want too many more stripy patterns near the door. but I like the idea of having just like a clearly defined yellow line that's like, hey, this area is for foot traffic. If anybody's worked in a factory before or any type of industrial gig, you kind of know what I'm talking about. Like, they have areas outlined where this is where people are going to walk, so don't drive a fucking forklift through there. Or don't drive the little golf cart because management's lazy and have to drive around in a golf cart instead of walk like the rest of us plebeians. Today's stream is being brought to you by the second half of my warm Dr. Pepper from earlier and a couple of grapefruit seltzers from the grocery store. Also brought to you by my patrons. I appreciate you guys. Patreon.com/FamonStudios. X. Can't forget the X at the end. But let's get sold out to PepsiCo. Goddamn son of a bitch. Gave Pepsi all his freaking viewership money. And those are up top. Those containers are Jason Jensen containers. Another Rad Toys print. What kind of factory did you work in, Bjorn? What's up, Ian? I think I'm gonna be smart about this. Maybe. On occasion, I'm smart. Factory me PVC pipes have also. That's right. We talked about that. I've worked in 2 factories, and they were both industrial factories. So I imagine, like, a lot of the shit that I worked with could kill you. So that might have had to do with the way that they had it laid out. But I just know I don't want to get squished by like a forklift or anything like that. So, and also because it's sci-fi, we're gonna have to throw in a couple of weird angles and stuff. Could be a liminal space. Liminal outer space. I don't know what I'm doing. Yep, you can tell Snowflake was over here because a bunch of figures are knocked over. I'm onto you, Snowflake. I'm onto you. Yeah, no doubt. I wouldn't want anything gigantic falling on me. This was more like, hey, if you nick a pipe with a forklift, the acid is going to spray all over and burn somebody to death, and they're going to die. Or, hey, if you drive the forklift and puncture through this this line here, the electricity is going to shock every operator in this facility and kill them. Like, crazy stuff like that. It's good. It was fun. So I'm going to get some tape down here to kind of establish what kind of lines we want. So, corner clear. Let's see here. We're going to go like that. Nope. Too tight of a angle for that, so there we go. Bring that in. Cool. Do. And we'll go, I don't know, that kind of makes me feel happy right there. See that tape there. Okay. Now I could measure, and I could mark down the lines. I'm not gonna though, on account of I don't want to. And then make life a little more exciting. Take some tape there. We'll go there. And we'll go right about there. Okay. So, that was a lot of work for a small stretch, but you'll see down here, we're going to angle that to kind of make that like a storage area or loading area. I've been toying with some type of idea, making a cage, like a safety, storage cage or something down here. Put a gate. So, yeah. Oil theft is a crime. A space crime. Actually, I'm going to make this line a little bit longer over this way. We'll come right to... Hell with it, we'll come right to there. And now I'm not going to go crazy worrying about line bleed, because we're going to do a lot of weathering and shit down here, because again, this is... Industry happens here. Things land, thrusters burn up over there, afterburners kick off. So that's no problem. Okay. So we'll do the first line just to kind of give an idea. And here's the 10,000 Imperial credit question. I said I don't want to do yellow. I also don't necessarily want to do red. But I've kind of established a pattern here of safety, right? The yellow, like, hey, fucking don't crash into that. Hey, watch these doors. This is a ladder. Yellow. So I think I've kind of pigeonholed myself in yellow. I could do white. It's just not as striking and industrial as I'd like it to be. But we're going to do it live. So the first thing we'll do is put down... I mean, look. My Wayland droid. This asshole just flies onto the scene. Look at that. Just doesn't... It's like BattleBots in here. Right? So... Caution tape. Little flag. Safety flag. Adam, you joke, or maybe you're serious, knowing you. Love you. But I'm actually going to do my favorite restaurant, but I'm going to make a space version of it up here on the next level, like the entrance, and duplicate their entrance. So there will be a restaurant that's sort of modern, sort of retro. But yeah, I mean, I've kind of set myself up. I could do orange. Nah, I think dandelion yellow is the way to go. Just seems the smartest bet. It's pretty standard. We can kind of outline it with black if we need to, which will also add to the cautionness of it. Same goes for me, Ian. Except Sightsee is the restaurant realism consultant. You can reach out to me, but just make sure that you're gentle when you reach out and like try and get in touch with me. Now, I'm gonna try and be this guy, right? Now I'm not really the gloves guy, but my hands have got, what are these, medium? Oh God, they're so tight like a tiger. Oh God. I might be this guy, but I'm gonna have to get larges. And I'm just gonna, like, I want to use regular craft acrylic paint, but I can also empty this out here. So let's say. Barry O.J. Simpson. Thanks, man. Overall yards and rushing. Scoring a touchdown college football champion. Right? Isn't that what he did? I think that's what he did. Can't think of anything else. He was in The Naked Gun, too. That's why he's famous. And where are my palettes? Famine, you live stream every week, multiple times a week. Are you prepared? No. No, I'm not. Thank you for noticing. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to notice that I am not, in fact, ready. So we're going to shake up that folk art acrylic. See if this is any good. Ew. Yeah, that paint should be good and in no way affect anything else that I'm doing later. Mustard! There we go. Ugh. They got the mustard out. Beep, 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 beep. Hello, Snowflake. What doing, my sweet girl? I did cut the mustard. So I'll do 2 passes of this. Oh, he do be farting. Normally, I would be stippling this. You guys know you've seen me do caution lines in the past, but hear me out. I want this line to look like it was applied, which is why I'm painting all in one direction. I want it to look like it was applied with intention and maybe has been gone over a couple of times by a droid that comes through every so often, or a sentient creature that does, I don't know, road work or whatever, pops in and he's like, hey, I think the yellow is like lines in the hallway, like at the hospital. You could follow them. Where they're like, oh, your patient is on the right, follow the red lines up to the 2nd floor, and then once you go through the decontamination room, you can visit them in the infectious disease ward. Just don't lick the doorknob. It's like, oh, okay. I don't know if this will convey what I'm trying to do, but at least it'll be uniform, right? But when we come back and weather these, we'll be able to go back and forth against the grain of the painting here, right? So I went like this as best I could. And then we'll be able to go, when we come in and do weathering, we'll be able to do like foot traffic back and forth stuff, because like dinosaurs could walk through there. Something gets delivered to go inside of the mountain. He's the knob. Knob Mountain. Some of that Knob Creek. Put that Knob Creek in my mouth. Okay. So now, let's get this out of the way. Yes, there's that. That's good. Okay, so we got a line there, and that line is going to be where we work our angle from when we decide that side. Knob Mountain, where you go to get away from it all. I go to Brokeback Mountain. It's very quiet there. A lot of gentlemen campers. Not a lot of ladies. You know, they make it stressful when you're camping, so you just go out with the fellas. Really enjoy your time in the wild. So we got a nice straight line there. As you can see, I'm saving this tape because I'm going to use it again. But the next time I use it, I'm going to use this side. This is a trick I've been using in painting for years, especially when I do lettering on costumes for people and like riot shields, bats, things like that, when I do airsoft and LARP cosplay pieces for people. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. Okay, so we got a line. And that looks good. I do dig that. Tummy sticks. We're going to play tummy sticks. I don't want to play tummy sticks. I don't want to play tummy sticks. That was a gift. That was a gift. Keeping it. Name the movie. Excuse me, Miss Snowflake. Get the hell out of here, foam board. Watch out, man. Dad's got to get over here. All right. Oh, sorry, honey. All right, so we've got our first line down. Like I said, I'm going to make an angle, but make this line first so we can just tie the two together. So yeah, that's my plan. And I got to get this medium glove off my hand. That ain't the way. I'll donate those to somebody. So we will rock you. So it looks like I'm going back to my spot now. Okay. Cool. Sorry if I just shook the camera with my bald head. Now I'm going to lean into this frame. Okay. And that's going to be the width of that line. Perfect. We're going to say this line. I'm actually going to continue this line all the way out of the camera frame. we shall continue almost to the edge there. Try not to sound like Michael Caine when I do this. However, sometimes you need to talk like Michael Caine when you're laying your tape. Otherwise, the tape won't go down right. I don't make the rules, I just follow them. And as such, sometimes you need to do things that terrify most people. I don't know what I'm doing. I just work here. Oh no, why me? The tape has fallen to the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, Olympus has fallen. Oh no. Yeah. Is that line? No budget for us to actually see famine. That's true. All the money that was in our budget went to see Sir Michael Caine. Now, his writer says it can't actually appear in the episode, but he provided us this voiceover. Still cracking on this. He was the special guest star of this episode. Mustard! Alright. Let's just give you guys a peek of how far that's going there. Oh my goodness, there's a dog. There's a cow man. He always digging. Where are you going, cow man? You digging a hole over there, buddy? Are you being a good boy? Yeah. Snowflake. That dog is the size of a spaceship hangar. He is a spaceship hangar dog. He's a kaiju, actually. Earlier, I was laying over there with them, and he decided he really needed my blanket, and he proceeded to basically do what he's doing right now to his brother and mother's head, which is just pretend to scratch and scratch and scratch until he pulled the entire blanket off of me. So that was nice. Really appreciated that one. Thank you, Cowman. Very kind. Alright, let me get some yellow paint on this. Get that faux industrial line going here. And I'll just do one of these real quick for the ladies. Or the dudes. I don't know. Don't know what you're into. Just taking that paint. If you really wanted to go ham, you did this on your own setup, you could leave the tape, let the paint dry, and then go over the lines with like either a mattifying Mod Podge or a, gloss. You could also sprinkle baking soda or some really fine grit sand in there to give it that like railroad paint texture, which actually has glass in it, I believe. So, I mean, I don't recommend that. That was just a fact, or like, I think is a fact that I wanted to share. Like, don't grind up Mima's collectible Coke bottles in your garage to try and replicate the same texture. Like, I'm not your boss, but also do what you want to do. And the coverage doesn't have to be perfect, because again, we're going to weather this. We're going to make it look like industry happens here. Ships land, take off. Maybe the occasional weapons malfunction. Maybe a gunfight breaks out over cargo. We don't know. Okay. So we got that nice line there. We'll give that a second to kind of tack up. You know, Rick, I'm a billionaire. I am a billionaire, and we're going to go ahead and do this. Also, Adam, you said Cowman versus Gypsy Danger. Cowman would pilot Gypsy Danger with his brother, and it would be hilarious. Yeah, pretty much. Treat. All right, let's see how this looks. I'd buy that for $1. Now, trying to think here. We've got this. You will stay put. Haha. That almost worked. Let me tell you something, brother. Hulk Hogan's a piece of shit. He's a racist and a politicker and a union buster. So we don't like him, brother. No, the Vallejo is just there for decor. I thought maybe I would use it, but I wound up using folk art yellow, light yellow. I assume it's supposed to say light yellow, but it says yellow light. Works well. Or it's Heinz Golden Mustard. But yes, in case you didn't have other reasons to dislike Hulk Hogan, he's also a union buster. I remember when he was Mr. Nanny. That dude was in everything for a hot minute. Like, you couldn't go anywhere without seeing his fucking yellow face. What kind of tape? It is frog tape. It's made from tree frogs. It's not actually made from tree frogs. But I prefer the green frog tape to the blue tape for damn near everything, including house painting. Because, as you can see, you get shitty line edges. You get much better ones with this, and it also doesn't tear your stuff off when you peel it up. I like the Tamiya masking tape the Tamiya for like models. That stuff's really good. It's expensive, and I put that in quotes because like if we're talking, hey, I pay $3.99 for that. I actually think I pay $2.99 for these, but like let's say I pay $3.99 for this. There's what, an ounce in there, versus paying 99 cents at Walmart or whatever the cost is for 2 ounce. All right, so this would be like a half an ounce, maybe 3/4 of an ounce, or I pay 2 ounces for this. If I thin this down with the right amount of paint thinner, I can damn near get the same consistency and quality of this on most things, but for this project, this is fine. This would be expensive to use on a bigger scale like this, which is more or less why I'm not using it. I could mix it in. Maybe I'll use it for a little touch-up, but I thought maybe, hey, I could use this, but I'd rather use this. Hi, Sarah. Didn't see you come in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Paint thinner? You Windex. Like Windex. You can also use retarder, which I've used a little of that. It's not so much a thinner as this will help the paint stay wetter longer, because this shit dries quick, just like this stuff does. If I'm painting a lot with that titanium white that I like to use, I'll use this because titanium white sucks the moisture because of the titanium silica that's in there. I think it's titanium silica. It just pulls all the fucking moisture out and dries up like that, which is why the nozzles get clogged constantly. So a little bit of this retarder medium helps. But as far as my thinner goes, my number one is Windex without ammonia. You can also use that Windex to thin these craft paints for airbrushing. I've done it with cosplay. I've not done it with figures, but I've done it with cosplay. I've done it with props for short films and get really good results that way. Little industry tip there for you. He said industry as though he was even paid for that film prop. He was paid in a hot dog and a handshake and a zero Dr. Pepper. But so we've got those two lines established. I like that. So now I want to put a different color line as I sit here and just let my little gears turn in my head. Kind of like an indicator of like, hey, something, stand clear. And also we're going to make a quick stencil. I have a printout of this. You don't want to use water, especially if it's tap water, because of all the minerals and shit that's in there. So you want to use like distilled water, actually distilled water. But Windex without ammonia. Loading team, step away. Work her back. Sorry. So maybe we'll do the caution symbol in in some type of color. Maybe we'll put the caution like right there, or fucking dead center. No, I think in front of the door would be better. We'll worry about that in a minute. And by a minute, I mean like later, or I'll forget. So let's tie this line. We'll go right to the edge here, just as like a don't cross that line. Well, this is the fun part. This is the shit you guys don't usually get to see because I've made up my mind by that point. Well, I let my gears turn. Get some of this green tape. Take my scissor. Just scissor. Oh, God. I caught the tape. It's fine. I'm alright, guys. Nobody panic. Jizza, Rizza, Ghostface Killer, Inspector Deck, Method Man, ODB, the old dirty bastard. Remember, guys, Wu-Tang is for the children, and it is forever. Oh no, we got a little bit of yellow on there. Oh no. Oh no. Sorry, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so we got that line there. And that goes to there. Cool. And then I'm going to come around like this and just come all over this here. I didn't say that. Why would you say that? But let's use our brains here, family. Instead, that. Okay. Oh no. Oh, no. Okay, I fixed it. Nobody panic. Your boy fixed it. I'm totally blocking the camera, aren't I? Okay, that's a little... We'll see. Oh, that ain't so bad. That came out all right. All right. Whew, we did it. We did it, boys and girls. Everybody in between and on the outside, we did a line. You sound like fucking Clayton Fiore. Christ is king. The dinosaurs changed gender like some sort of woke garbage. Christ is king. Thanks for watching my videos. Also, donate to my Patreon so I can take more trips to Christian camp. Alright. We'll do a... I actually kind of dig just like that floating line of, hey, this area should not be foot trafficked. It's kind of like human trafficking, but it's just about feet. And what I'll probably do is come up with some type of sconce or something, some type of lighted fixture there, just to mark that area. But let's, yeah. Do you want a special Jesus trophy for it? Did they give Jesus trophies? Please tell me they didn't have Jesus trophies. Now, if you want to be super stringent, look at that. I was going to make a joke about being super stingy with the paint, but I'm actually going to scoop that chunk of dried up paint out of there. What's he going to use to do that, Famine? To which I say, I don't know. But it's got to go. I know what I'll use. I'll use a screw. I'll use a bloody screw. I was going to scoop some of that paint from that palette back in here. And I still might. Look at that. Now, you could add thinner, shake the shit out of it. I just don't want to, be quite honest with you. Oh! I made a mess. God, Famine, you're such a fucking slob. Jesus Christ. We come to your channel for one thing only. Certainly not this. There we go. This hole is clear. It's like Skywalker on a Saturday night. Hey-you. I get yellow. See, I should have worn gloves. Should have worn gloves to use that glove to do what I just did with a glove. Yeah, way back when I couldn't afford a lot of paint. I can't. It's not even a brag to say I could fucking buy a 99. When I couldn't buy a 99-cent paint thing, I would take my paint back off the palette if I hadn't mixed it up and just do that. So there you go. Great way. Save just a little money. And yeah, if you really wanted to add water to, like, stretch this, distilled water, not tap water, not bottled water. Distilled water or Windex without the ammonia. So we've got that. I dig on that. So yeah, we have another step now. We have to start weathering this ground because we want it to look like industry happens here. I sure do wish that I knew where my my makeup brushes are, my big poofy makeup brushes, because those things are like the best for this type of weathering. Just because they're so big. Let's see here. Let's see what we got. Excuse me, Miss Snowflake. Thank you. All right. We have ladies and gentlemen, this is very strange here. 6 hours to go to a hospital appointment. Have a good sleep, Ian. This is actually puzzling. It's all good. It is all good. So we're going to start making some stains, some marks. We're going to do some experimental stuff. It's going to be fun. So we've got ink, More inks. We've got a couple of washes here. Merit badge for being a Girl Scout. Washes. And then we got everybody's favorite. We've got also some acrylic, or excuse me, some pastels, some chalk pastels. Alright, so we've also got water. We've got a plate for palette, oil stains, dry stains, burns, scorch marks. Pretty much we're going to dirty up this ground, and then I'll seal it. And that'll leave a nice mess there. So, because she could have beat you in the Pinewood Derby, though. Nobody could beat Sky. They just put a piece of masking tape over it with a neatly written name. Oh, man. Alright, so we're going to start. We'll just work on a simple stain, right? So let's bring this over here. Do you know Oriental Trading Company has a social media presence? Like, that's an upsetting thought to me. Like, that sentence shouldn't have come out of my mouth. And yet it did. I got a little water there from paint. So we're going to use a little Liquitex Burnt Umber. It's transparent, but I want to thin it out a little more. So I'm going to take most of it out of my dropper, which is, of course, off camera. There we go. Get almost all of it out of there. Just put a little bit in that water. I actually bought a case of tiki mugs from them for a birthday party pre-pandemic, and I gave them out as favors with everybody's drink. And as you can see here, just putting it on there, letting it kind of pool. Just pick a couple of spots and make some gross stains. Like, who knows what was through here? Is that engine oil? Is that rust? We don't know. The dinosaur, is it dinosaur milk? Did Wenzilla come through here with one of his creatures? We don't know. See, guys, this is what I like to do, is my friends are other creators, and I watch their videos and they shout me out, but I'm too proud to shout them out, so what I'll do is I'll poke a little fun at them, and I'll mention their names, and then it's like I did the same thing. And I'll put a little over here in the corner, up against the wall. It's okay to get it on the wall. The Simpsons. I actually have a very secret recipe for my dried blood. Maybe one day I'll share that. That was gifted to me, this recipe, by an artist friend who's no longer with us. Oh, we got a $10 super chat for dinosaur milk. Ha, Wenzilla, I make the funding off of the dinosaur milk, not you. We stand here amongst my achievement, not yours. Sorry. I'm excited for Andor Season 2. Yeah, Zilla's another dinosaurs in his world guy. He has a bunch of really cool lore for his creatures live on a former gamma mining location, so the dinosaurs eat the grass and stuff, and when they poop, he has a team that's actually specially designed to go out and harvest their poop and make gamma fuel. Be careful not to choke on your aspirations, director. And then we were all like, there's Anakin. There he is. There's our guy. He was in the Clone Wars. We like him. And little Rossiana. Now this stuff's a little more pigmented. It's a little less transparent, but you can see how it covers. So we're just going to keep using the dirty brush because, again, it's all grime and shit. And then I'll take a lot of it out of the brush on the side of the plate there. Where's that old... I used to have a bunch of old socks. I do. I know I have a couple that don't have a twin. Give me a second. Where are you? You lonely sock thing. Got one. One of my Too Sweet Bullet Club socks. There we go. Now that looks like somebody cleaned up that stain. Bald-headed loser. You mean Asajj? Or me? New Asajj Ventress figure. With a comically large lightsaber hilt. I'm going to find somebody who prints her lightsaber to replace the one that the figure came with, because that fucker looks gigantic in her hands. And it's like we know that they can make small ones because they made tiny lightsabers for Reva and other characters, so I'm just not sure why they gave her like the comically large lightsabers. That's my only complaint. I have Asajj's lightsabers from other toys. This is the version of her. Yeah. It's the Clone Wars outfit where she fights and Dooku gives her sabers. I am Sith. Interesting, child. You are not Sith. Such a weird relationship that those types of characters have. Like, yeah, this dude just electrocuted the shit out of me, and then he gave me free laser swords, and now I just go do his bidding. Like, it really is the Crusades. Just, you're gonna go fight for Jesus now. I'm gonna go fight for Jesus. All right, here I go. Going to fight for Jesus. Very fucking weird. Let's do a little Nuln Oil. Yeah, no, like I said, Christian Crusades. Donald sent me on a mission. Gonna use it Nuln Oil and make a nice oil spill. And layering is key too. Go out and look in your garage floor, or look on your driveway, or like in parking lots. And like look at the layers of grime and layers of color and rainwater and stuff. You see what I'm doing here? Just a little bit of giving character through spatters. Get some on that line there. And I will be going... Oh, shit, that's expensive that I just wasted. Ah, what are you going to do? Okay, so I just knocked over the entire tote of Nuln Oil. And by tote, I mean little container. Ugh, mistakes were made. But, fortunately, my professional wrestling sock was there. Catch a lot of the spill. So we're just going to pretend that that was part of it. I look like I jerked off a gargoyle. And I say expensive. It's fucking Nuln Oil. It's like $6.99 a pot, which is fine. But I just did that to myself. I was in my head. I was like, yeah, don't do that. And then I proceeded to do what I did. What I was telling myself not to do. That's okay. We'll put it to use. Oily foot traffic through here. That was... Alright, well, we saved... I don't know. I'd say a quarter of it. Half of it. Oh, that's funny. I need to grab some fabric from my fabric stores over here. Where are you, fabric bag? I'm over here. Grab me, famine son. See, I keep a satchel of t-shirt scraps. And like things to cut into rags to wipe up with. So I'm just gonna do that right now. If my sharp scissors were sharp enough. There we go. God, that's funny. Okay. What can you do? You know, it's like what? It's just, oh, did I get any on Hecklefish? I got it on Hecklefish. No! No! What can you do? There's nothing I can do. Got it on the fish. R.I.P. Oh, that was fun. Now he's Frecklefish. Get out. You're a mod. Kick yourself out. What are you gonna do? 10-minute timeout. He's getting his pee-pee smacked. That's fun. This guy, mint on card. And now he's got a Nuln Oil wash all over his card. It's weathered. Yeah, that's what I call it when somebody gets in trouble. They get their pee-pee smacked. I used to work with this fucking crazy old dude named Lou Carswell. And I can say it because I don't care. But he used to, whenever you'd get in trouble for something, if a couple of guys work with their wives there, and he'd be like, "Oh, what happened? Did you get your pee-pee smacked for doing that wrong?" And it's just one of them things that's stuck. And it's like so stupid. But yeah, what happened? You get your pee-pee smacked? Gotta be careful. Can't be doing that. I tried to tell you. You told me to do it, Lou. No, that was a warning. Thank you, Lou. Appreciate your fucking warnings. Okay. So now let's try not to pour out this pot of contrast Fire Slayer flesh. Fire Slayer flesh. That's a mouthful. Let me get a mouthful of Fire Slayer I can't even fucking say it to make my joke. Fire Slayer flesh. I give up. That's cool. And yeah, before I had my tragedy of, ruining this pot of Citadel, I... See, that's what I didn't do the last time, is I didn't close that before I started pointing. I'm going to come along and weather where the materials meet so that it adds that shading, that natural, the place gets swept, all the dirt collects in the corners, natural grime, and it'll really sell like this being one unit where a lot of dirt and disease and all kinds of shit flies around. There we go. Let me go like this. We put a little on there. Take it off. I just think it'd be a way to use some that has been wasted. Besmirches. I guess I don't understand what that means. I'm using the sock that mopped up most of the oil just to go over certain spots. See how it added the black on top of that there? Oh, this has happened multiple times here. I'm doing stuff like that with this. But like this one that I just cleaned my hands off with, I'll save this material. I'll be able to, run that through some water. Once that's dry, break it up so it's loose, and then I'll have this stained, grimy material that I can use as a tarp over, something in the background. Or it could be part of a costume if I do fabric on somebody's coat. Who knows? But yeah, that'll get saved. Or I could just continue to keep using it as a gargoyle beaten rag, and that's where I keep my sins. We learned that at Jesus Camp. I hide my sins in my socks, so mother and father don't find them, and know that I'm unclean and not pure. My God. You are last. Also, anybody who's new to the channel, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button if you like this type of stuff. I go live Tuesdays. I go live several times throughout the week. We do world building, 118 painting, kit bashing, custom toys. I also sometimes do prop work, 1-to-1 scale replicas, and we just hang out and have fun. Patreon, if you like that sort of thing, you want to help push the channel forward, you can always subscribe there or see exclusive content. Patreon.com/FammontStudiosX. If you want to share this with a friend, maybe it's not your jam, or an enemy, right? You know, maybe somebody you don't like. You're like, man, fucking that dude over there that I can't stand. This would probably bother him. Send it along. Send it along. That also helps the channel. Bring that together. And now we're starting to have a nice messy, nice messy get up over here. And one of the cool things that I like about doing this type of stuff is this light. If I change the lighting, looks grimier. Like there's a variety. Let's do this. Let's get a little more water. And I think I have a couple of transparent greens. In fact, I know I have an airbrush green. I don't know if it's... I know I have a transparent green. Transparent green right here. Because we don't know what color fucking space alien blood is. Well, we do, because we've seen, you know, aliens. But could be, you know, Predator, Yachts' blood. We just simply don't know. Let's put a little of that, couple of those. A couple of drip drops like that. That's fun. Why not, something like that on the door. Then I'll leave that on the door, but maybe I'll just dab. That works. That's cool. Stardust Ranch lore. Yeah. If you don't take its head off with a katana, it regenerates and comes back later. I read that on the internet once. And just mix that with these other grimy colors. And that's the cool thing is with this palette, like this is all just dirty, grimy colors. So we can mix them together. We can layer. We can add some depth and other things. And I like looking through the camera lens. You lost the coin toss because you missed me dump out an entire fucking bottle almost of Nuln Oil. It looked like I jacked off a gargoyle. It was great. Got it all over some mint on card figures. Got it all over Hecklefish. So now I have to get a new Hecklefish. Oh, it was embarrassing. Oh. But we also put some Yoda blood over here. Huh? You like that? I did that for you, Mr. Predator guy. Ah, that doesn't sound like a good nickname. You can't call somebody, that can't be somebody's nickname, Famine. Somebody can't be the Predator guy. Oh, here he is, the fucking Predator guy. What's up, buddy? No, you can't. That's not, that's not okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm surprised terms of service TOS didn't get me for jacking off a gargoyle. Mint on card. I don't. It's just funny that all the oil, like, it, like, bukkake the poor fucking carded figures. I love the idea that, like... There we go. Something at one point spilled there. And contributed to whatever this mess is. And I can take that sock that's soaked with fucking Nuln Oil. What's up, Cal? What doing, buddy? For real, on God, oh cat, no cat. Hit him with a drip, running down a lip, lip. Yes, he's the kind of guy I was looking for. And yes, you'll get slapped if you're looking ho. Oh. Sorry, I happen to like that song by Nicki Minaj, even though she's a fucking weirdo. Conspiracy theorist spreading weirdo. I can't wring that out back in the bottle. You find that out once you drink Bailey's from a shoe. There's really no putting this type of stuff back in the bottle. You ever drink Bailey's from a shoe? Do you like me? Give an assessment. Do you want to go to a club where you see people wee on each other? You've seen my downstairs mix-up. I'm old Greg. Mighty Bausch. Or were you talking about my Nicki Minaj fucking music? Put all that black in the green. Darken that up. A little black in the brown. Darken that up. What are you doing in my waters? Do you like my paintings? I can't wait until my studio is my studio again. Why do you say that, Famine? Well, you know, right now I'm trying to do something and I've got to rearrange an entire room to do this. Oh, okay. Sounds like you're having a tough time. You should be thankful you have a room. I should, self. Some of that oil on there that's stuck in the sock. That'll be good when I put the use your words, Famine. The dust from these chalk pastels upon this surface. If I do know one thing, it's old Greg. My downstairs mix-up. Would you like to kiss me? And I like seeing this because I can see it with my e-boos, my eyeballs. And then I could see me. Like I can see this through the camera as well. And I can see how it films differently than it looks in my eyes. Which is fun. If you ever get a chance to go on some of the film prop auction sites, holy shit, a lot of movie props are hideous. But now with like HD, they have to get nicer. But yeah, man, holy cow. Like, there's some garbage props out there. And that's not a knock on the filmmakers. Like, sometimes you have to paint them garishly to even get some of that shit to show up on camera. So, it's just fascinating to learn. Prop Store of London. That's one you want to see. Have you ever drank Bailey's from a shoe? It's creamy. Oh, I get it. Ah, woo! Prop stores of London. I get it. I get it, Bjorn. That was a good one. That was a good one, Bjorn. You did a very good job. Your father and I are very proud of you. I don't have to grind up any because I already did it ahead of time. Didn't see that coming, did you, bitches? Whoa! Your father and I are very proud of you and your friends for what you did helping that strange alien from outer space. Now, unfortunately, the whole planet has a virus because you guys decided to play with it, but we thank you for being. We raised you right. I'm glad you brought it into this house. Although I think I'm going to make some more black chalk just for like carbon scoring. Because again, I like the idea that like you could. All right, you will calm down here. You could fly in, your ship lands, turn sideways, you unload your cargo, could go off this way or could go that way, go up a level, whatever. The crane could pick it up, and then you take off or you pick up your passengers over there. Like, so I want to have some carbon scoring and things like that because it's not just dirt. Oh man, that came out great. That was a brilliant freaking move by me. Yeah, let's bring out a little bit of the chalk pastel again. We're just gonna bring this here into the field of view. Then we're gonna go over here to the black chalk here. We'll rotate it so we got a good surface to work off of. Come on, don't be shy. There we go. We're just gonna make tiny little scrapes. So we've got a good amount of powder. If you ever partied at Studio 54 back in the 80s, you know what I'm talking about. You want to have that good grain. There you go. Keep your blade out of the way. You want to be safe. Load that up on brush. And then start adding it to your diorama. And it's a great way to subtly add contrast and layering, to add depth to whatever you're working on. Yeah, you would have died, and they would have like put you out with the trash to try and keep the cops out of that place for sure. I probably would have expired at a roller disco back in the 80s, if I'm being honest. Get some of that extra chalk on there. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's cool. We're adding some stains, some realism here. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah. Let's get some more. Look at that. There's some more various pigments collected here. Just going to go ahead and collect these together. It would have to be 54 substances or no dice. It's in your contract. Now dance, Rabbit Man. Okay. Now, it's time for a breakdown. Well, at that point, everybody knew better, or tried to know better. Let's get some of that over here. Yeah. Gross puddle. Cool. Cool. All right, now I'm going to mute you guys. I'm going to blast this with the hairdryer. Oh, God. He's released the camera. 2 seconds. All right, I'm happy with that. Let's see here. Let me give you guys a quick down and up close view of that. Let's go. Release. So there we've got some nice, lovely grime. Disconnect the cord. We got some. The door. And you know me, I'll build up more grime as it goes along, adding things. But I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, thank you to everyone who tuned in. Thank you for the super chats. Again, if you're new to the channel, you like this, smack the like button, subscribe. We'll be back at it again, I'm sure, some point this week. I'm going to be spending a lot of time at home and have evenings possibly to myself. I don't know. But more on that later. But otherwise, I hope you guys are well. You need it. You need footprints. You need dinosaur footprints across your titties. Okay? from Figure Booth, from your titties. Hope you guys are well. Enjoy your week. We'll catch you soon. Too sweet me. Thanks for watching, guys.